Hi there. Welcome to Let's Talk Art. It's so nice to see my followers and everybody that's new today, and I really welcome you all to my show. I'm Amy Reshefsky. I'm in Delray Beach, Florida, and right now I am virtual, coming to you from North Carolina. I'm hiding out in the cool mountains, and we are live streaming from the New Dawn Theater and Amp2 Productions, and the New Dawn Theater, actually the gallery. Oh, well, I'm a little tongue-tied this morning, so let me start again. The art gallery in the radio station is the Cafe Art Gallery. And at the start of the show, I usually like to mention and reach out to all of you to say that the number usually goes across the screen, and you're very happy to call in and let me know if you have any questions for me or my guest. And you can go to 888-994-4995 and ask for Studio A. And you can also share the show. Oh, there's the number on the screen. I'd love for you to share the show with your friends. And this is a good half hour today, so we can get away from all our politics and just relax and talk about art. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. I enjoy painting on wood, glass, canvas, and my new medium, which is mosaic tapestries, which I have behind me and I've talked about on a few other shows. I also have my work in homes and offices, and commissions can be found in a lot of public places. And I love the chance to create work for charitable causes. So I've been doing that for a few years now, and it's kind of rewarding. And I try and describe my style, and it's a combination of a few mediums, and I really like to take advantage of whatever is in my mind and just go for it. So so one day I had a couple come into the gallery where I was, and they told me that they lived on the ocean in Palm Beach, and they wanted to have a painting in their living room that when it went dark at night, they could still see the ocean. And I thought that was kind of a cool thing. And so I was kind of surprised that they asked me to do an ocean scene, considering all my work is pretty much abstract and modern art. So I said yes, and the stress hit me right after I said yes, and I said, you know what, I can do this. So I put myself to the project. I found a material that looks like sand, and I used that on the bottom of the canvas to show the ocean coming in, and you just want to go and touch that sand. It was really, really cool. So to my surprise, it's just what they were looking for, and they came into the gallery, and I was just thrilled that they thought it was just perfect, and because I really stepped out of my own comfort zone, and I was really thrilled. And I proved yet again that there was a challenge in front of me, and all you can do is just go for it and give it a shot. So I did, and I haven't done another ocean scene since, but I guess I'm capable of it. So you can see my art in the Brooklyn Cafe Art Gallery these days, and I'm so lucky to work with a great staff at the station, and they continue to back me with my art. And I just love doing this show. So it's really all coming together. So I thought today that we would talk about two mediums, abstract art and modern art. And let's see if I can explain it well enough. So It's our abstract art is really basically the visual language of any shape, color, form, style, and which is independent from any object or things that exist in the world. Although mostly it conveys a little of emotion. So it's abstract is a departure from the reality into the imaginary world. So I'm going to put up one painting, number one, just to talk about that. Okay, so this is my abstract, um, and it's kind of interesting because it is on metal frame, and it's 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 hard to really see it, but it hangs like a tapestry off these little wires and little round hooks, and it just floats. Um, and going back to abstract movement, it's really interesting because it started in the United States, um, in and which began really in the 1940s and throughout right after World War II. However, real abstract art was really painted earlier by expressionists, especially like Kandinsky in the early 1900s. And he's really one of my artists that I really enjoy following. And so, as you can see from my first painting, you can see the shapes, the directions which your eye sort of imagines consequences. And if you look around, you're just looking at this, and it'll take you up and over and around, and that's really what abstract is. It's really not a solid picture of something. It's just to your imagination. So the frame really makes it a little more modern for me. So I guess you can say that it's an abstract with a modern flair. So let's do number two. Okay, so this piece is kind of wild, um, and if you were a viewer looking at this painting, it's kind of cool to see what clicks in your mind. And the best thing about this abstract is you can turn it around four different ways. And I love doing big art like this because you get bored in your house and you just turn it around, and you have another vision. And it's really so abstract that you really don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of movement. So that's kind of cool. And I love getting the reactions, asking people what they see in it. And I mean, like, I can see like a monkey face in there. Everybody's got another, uh, idea. So that's really cool. And then we get to modern art. And so modern art is an art form which started in the 60s and 70s. And after that, abstract art just started to just move on in all different mediums. It had its own flavor of it. So it just keeps going with different ideas. And it's tracking back to the 60s. Art, music was at the forefront for all of us. And really, the 60s is still today in all of our minds. The music, we still listen to it. The kids listen to the 60s music. We all still can relate to that era. So there is no really perfect definition of modern art, but it usually has lines and you can see an image. So let's look at number three. I'll sort of explain it a little better there. Okay, so there's my butterfly, and you can tell it's a butterfly, and it's kind of modern looking, so I say this is modern art. But the most interesting part of this picture is that it's on aluminum. And I just, with a few other artists this past year, we started painting on a lot of aluminum because we could put resin on it and then put it outdoors. So this piece, it's kind of really hard to see, but you see there's a lot of lines in there. So when we did the first resin, it didn't take really well. So I went back and I had somebody help me do the resin again, and it's sort of like added all lines, and gave it a 3D character to it. And this one's in my private collection. I have a few things that I absolutely love, so I keep them close to me. I do have more aluminum pieces, but for some reason this one just stood out. Let's see what else I'm trying to think about. So let's go to number 4, the next one. So artists started following symbolism and depiction of suggestive experiences. And when I look at this dress, I know we all know it's a dress, but it is a dress. So in the modern view, you know exactly what it is, but it's also abstract, and it just takes you, it just warms you up, I guess, and yet it's a modern piece. So I really like that. So what led to the modern movement was people started to use new methods to build their unique pieces of artwork, and so you can see that that the work that I've showed you is really, there's 2 pieces really that were very abstract, and then there's 2 pieces that are defined. So that's how I define between abstract and modern art. So that's my story on that subject for now. And so today's question, or my whole idea, was to try and explain the 2 differences, and I hope I did. And then so I really enjoy doing work that makes a statement and that people can understand it. And if anybody sees any work during the show that I show you, my mosaics or anything that's in our commercials, please let the station know. We'll be happy to show it to you in person. And I'm looking forward to the day when we can really open up again and have everybody out and about. So I'm going to do our commercial now, because I really am interested in talking to Carlos Scott, and we're going to talk about what he does in the art movement. And I will be back in a few minutes after the commercial, and I look forward to seeing you. So see you in a few minutes.
Come see Amy Reshefsky, an artist here at the gallery. She has a plethora of art styles that will indeed captivate the human spirit, mind, body, and soul. From her vibrant pieces to her most shrouded pieces, come down and see Amy Reshefsky.
Admirers, connoisseurs, and enthusiasts of the art world, witness a visual spectacle like no other. Come visit the Gallery at the Theater, one of South Florida's best-kept secrets. Located in the heart of Boca Raton, the gallery features a diverse catalog of sculptures and paintings by world-renowned artists. But that's not all. All of the art is showcased in a live studio setting, home to South Florida's very own Brooklyn Cafe show, starring Dawn and Freddie S. And to top it all off, our collection includes signed memorabilia from some of the world's most iconic names in sports and entertainment history. So come on over, enjoy a cup of coffee, and experience the magic of the Gallery at the Theater. Located at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard in Suite 13. Or give us a call at 888-994-4995.
Oh, great. That was a cool presentation of the art around the studio. And yes, we have amazing coffee, Brooklyn Cafe coffee, and they mentioned that too. So we're going to introduce Carlos. Are you there?
Yes.
Oh,
Hello.
okay. Hey, welcome. I'm a little buttery today. I don't know what it is, but I'm so glad you're here. And so enjoyed getting to know you prior to the show, and in our private conversation, you told me about your background, your upbringing, and I'd like you to sort of tell everybody a little bit about you, and then we'll go from there. And
Okay.
welcome to the show.
Well, I was born in South America, in Bolivia. My father was a diplomat, and my mother was from Australia. She was an Australian lady. And when I was 7, I ended up going to live there. My father got a position there at the consul for the Bolivian government. So I lived in Australia for 4 years. Then I went back to Bolivia for 2 years. When I was about 11, I came to the United States, maybe 12. So I've been here since then, and I lived in New York, and I went to school there, went to junior high school, and also college. I got a scholarship to play soccer at Adelphi University in Long Island, and when I got out of college, I was drafted as a professional soccer player, which I did for a couple of years. But what stopped my career was I had about 15 or so dislocations of my left knee. And so basically, I could not practice every single day like a professional has to, and I had to give it up. So at that point, I ended up working in the aviation industry for 32 years.
What did
All
you
the
do? I didn't
while,
hear you.
I worked in the aviation industry for 30
Okay,
years.
better.
So I was a director of cargo and passenger operations for KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, for all of the United States, South America, and Central America. So then I retired from there, and as far as my art was concerned, in my late 20s, I started painting with pastels. And I do have an example I can show just like this.
Oh, good.
I have, this is what I started doing in my late 20s. And I did that for about 2 years. And I made several of these paintings. And I found that to be a very nice experience. It was representational, and you had to be very disciplined, and you had to make certain things look a certain way. But something I had subconsciously was I wanted more freedom. And so I decided I was going to try to do some kind of abstract art, but I had no clue how to go about it. I was afraid. I was afraid of looking silly, or somebody was going to ridicule me. I just had nothing to do. But
Your mother gave you a box of pastels one day just to keep
yes,
you busy.
that's right. I forgot about that part. No, when I finished my soccer career, I had to have major surgery, a reconstruction of my knee. So I was laid
Oh,
up
so
for 6 months to
oh
the
wow.
past, and so all that time I was inside. I couldn't go anywhere or anything. So my mother bought me a $2 box of pastels, and that's when I started doing that. I never took
And
any
so
lesson, nothing.
so you saw that you had talent at that point because pastels aren't so easy to work with.
No, I know they are hard, and then I also used sanded paper, like a sandpaper, so that makes it even more difficult. But
What
it
does the
does have.
sandpaper do?
Well, it grabs the pastel and gives it almost like a texture,
Oh, okay.
like
So
like
it
a
adheres
paste.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't fall off. Like sometimes pastel gets powdery and it falls off, but with the sandpaper, it has a tendency to stick down. So I did that for like 2 years, and then like I said, I had a career and then did nothing until my son, uh, when when he was about 12 years old, he downloaded uh, Photoshop on my computer, and that was my opening to get back into artwork, and that was right almost at the time that I retired. So, but as I said, I always had this idea of wanting to do abstract art, and I believe abstract art is more of a reflection of subconscious energy that people have.
Which it is.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, you agree with that, right?
You
When you
don't know
just
what
when
you're
you
gonna
start
get.
Exactly. When you start off, you have no idea what it's going to be, and it's all coming from internal and driving everything in not such a regimented, uniform way. And I love that. I love that freedom. But at the same
Right.
time, to be able to have that freedom to do that, you have to have at least some mastery of the media, of any kind of media, to be able to do what you feel like doing. So then that led me to go into digital techniques. And then I also started painting with acrylics. And here's one that I have here too. That's an
Oh,
acrylic
nice.
painting that I don't know what
Very
this
nice.
is.
Yeah, I can see it good.
Yeah. So that's an example of my uh, abstract painting. So what I do is I can take a part of that picture, or the one behind me is also, that one reminds me a little bit of yours, Amy, the one that you had before, where
Uh-huh.
there's all the components and they all kind of fit together and create a movement. That's always what I'm looking for: movement and maybe something that will remind something of something that in a subconscious
Right.
way.
Right.
Uh,
So I know you live in Miami. Does that influence your work at all? I mean, because you're
Not
going to
really.
show me a couple of pieces, but I know that well, I guess one of our pieces reminded me. I guess you did a water scene, but you want to show
Yeah.
one of your. Let's show some
Sure.
work so we don't run out of time today.
Yeah. Let's do the first picture.
Okay.
Uh, put it up. Okay, that's just a photograph of some leaves that I found very nice colors. But then the second one, that is my abstract interpretation of that using digital techniques uh, to create an abstract work. Uh, it's a little hard to see there. It's not quite the way it should look. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but
that
it
that
does have a lot of structure and character in there. You know, the lines and everything gives it a lot of
right.
yeah. But
That's
that was
that's
you started with the leaves to get to this.
yes. That's before
That's
and that's after.
remarkable. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm just learning about the digital, and I think that it's like it's a very new movement that everybody's sort of doing now.
Well,
But it's
what
hard
I
to
love.
understand.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
Oh, this one.
yeah. So what this does, the digital techniques give me a lot of flexibility in as far as the form, the composition, and the color and the texture. So you can control all of those elements, in a very good way. At least I feel like I can. This one was, believe it or not, I took a shot from TV. It was some kind of awards show.
Uh-huh.
That's the photograph, and then the
Right.
after. See that?
Ah,
That's the
okay.
yeah. And actually, I have that one also here in a different version with different colors. See?
Oh, so yeah, so now it's like a whole new thing on the computer. You can just pop out whatever you want. Because I noticed a couple of people on your site were asking for something you just did, which was really nice to see that people are really loving your work.
Yes, I'm
So,
getting really good. I just started Facebook 3 weeks ago, and that's I think was you found me on
oh, really?
Facebook.
That's that's
Yeah,
amazing.
I really I'm not a social media person per se, but I'm doing that now for art, and I find it in many ways rewarding and good that I'm connecting with a lot of people, which I really haven't been doing that before. So I will definitely continue to do that. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, and then I can also sometimes I do like a print like this, and then I might paint over it with acrylic paints
Okay.
to create a different work of art. Um,
We were
so
talking about Fairchild Gardens that you like to visit there a lot. I don't know if anybody knows that's in Miami, and I know that there's usually a Chihuly exhibit there during the. Is it always there now? I'm not
I
sure, but
haven't been there lately, but yeah, I know what you mean. The glass artist.
yeah. But does going there does that influence your work
Oh,
also?
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Here's also an example. This is an interpretation
Ah,
from something in Fairchild Gardens. See, this is my
okay.
nature.
Very
Um,
nice.
so, so yeah, anything nature. Actually, when I started with my photography, was I would take pictures of leaves that are laying on the ground because I saw beauty everywhere I went. It doesn't matter where, I can
Well,
always
that's
find.
an artist. Right. Yeah,
When you
when you have that art eye, everything just sort of shows you in a different view that it's more artistic than most people miss it, but we don't. We just
right,
tune right in there.
exactly,
Yeah.
because it's common objects, common things, and yet I'm able to find beauty and art in them. So it's just I'm very happy to be able to do stuff like that.
So how would people find you now if they want to
I
buy
have a
some of your paintings?
yeah, I have a website, www.carlosgscott.com, right, as it is on the left.
It's on the screen. Yeah, good. All right.
And that's also a new website. And what's good about that is that people can actually use their phone to go to a space on their wall to visualize exactly what picture in a particular size that they choose would look like on their wall. Also, there's
Right.
some generic walls. There's like a hotel room, there's a cafe, there's a conference room in an office building.
Right, right. And
They
we
have all
we did talk about some of those sites that you could go to and put your paintings up so people could see them in different rooms, which I adore. I did a show on
yes.
that last week, on staged art. So I
One of the things,
go ahead.
if I could say, is that the digital aspect of what I do allows me to have tremendous flexibility on the size of my works. So I'm not limited to a 8 by 10 or even 20. My work can go up to 80 inches without any loss of quality. So, and right now I also print it on metal. I don't have one
Oh,
right
you are
here, but
printing on metal. Great. Yeah.
yeah,
I did talk a
I don't
little
know.
bit about that today.
Oh yeah, on Facebook
I
I
don't
I
print on
have.
it. I just paint on it.
Yeah, you gave me the idea because I have a metal print that is faded because I had it in the sun, and I heard what you said about putting resin on it. But anyway, it's too late. It's all faded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to,
Well, paint over it. The
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
the resin really pops it out. It just
yeah,
gives it a brightness, which I adore
yes.
working with.
No, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that, and, because now I don't care for it now that the colors are faded, so I'm going to make something else. But
The
that,
best thing about meeting different artists is the fact that we can share ideas, and I think you and I talked a little bit, and we got some good things going on with the different art worlds. So I really really appreciate you being on the show today, and I love your work, and I hope that you're successful and further on, and look forward to talking to you at another time because. Yeah, like I said, it's been really nice getting to know you. Back to this. It looks like our time's almost up. The 30 minutes goes so fast. And I would just like to thank everybody for joining in today. Also, our next show is book with Ricky Leiter, who I've been trying to get on the show for so long, and she finally committed to the next date that we're on the show. And she is the artist of, not the artist, but the director of the art world. When you know artists, she's so wonderful to hear her talk about all the different things going on in the art world. So I look forward to seeing all you next week, and have a great artful week, and look forward to it. See you later.